Good morning, everyone. And welcome to the Sunday service for August 27th, the last Sunday service for this month. Time has been flying so fast that now, in 4 days, the unofficial end of summer will be done. We'll be here. And I hope that you've had a wonderful summer time off. Hopefully a little bit of vacation. We will now begin today's service with the Gatha when we see the golden sun on page 183. So would you please rise?
Good morning. Please join me in the reciting of the three treasures. Fortunate it is to be born into human life. Now we are living it. Rare is it to encounter the teachings of the Buddha. Now we hear it. If we do not seek the truth of the Dharma in this life, in what life shall we find it? Let us reverently take refuge in the three treasures of the truth. I take refuge in Buddha. May we all together absorb into ourselves the principle of the way to enlightenment and awaken within us a highest aspiration. I take refuge in Dharma. May we all together be submerged in the depth of the Dharma and gain wisdom as deep as the ocean. I take refuge in Sangha. May we all together become units in true accord in a life of harmony in the spirit of universal brotherhood, freed from the bondage of selfishness. Even through ages of myriads of kalpas, hard is it to hear such an excellent, profound, and wonderful teaching. Now we are able to hear and receive it. Let us thoroughly understand the true meaning of Tathagata's teaching. Namo Amida Butsu. Namo Amida Butsu. Namo Amida Butsu. Please be seated.
Thank you, Sensei Grace. Next, we'll have the chanting of Juni Dai. 慶州天人職業阿弥陀仙老俗尊在非未妙安楽国無量武士周囲入金色心情如せのシャマタ行如造部プロ目上脈小蓮華古賀将来弥陀尊面前炎上如満月以降有如千日月小如天空くしら古賀将来弥陀尊観音初代観中寿主寿妙相将軍信福下道負けおまん古賀将来弥陀尊無備無空交渉上習得経血尿国小さり薬毒自在古賀将来弥陀尊実法妙門菩薩衆無量小魔女三段一生修上願力中古賀将来弥陀尊根体保険地小慶前言少女明大座お膝上如線の古賀将来弥陀尊実法将来勝負師権限人図師安楽戦後尊厳上空行古賀将来弥陀尊小無常無我と薬尿水月年よろ一種説法無明寺古賀将来弥陀尊依存仏説無悪名薬無尿になく道夫主任自身教依存古
が将来みだそん依存無料勉強無償修悪知識往生不退死亡大子が将来みだそんが説非尊苦毒寺修善無縁了解水小逆前言少女者エセ修上小非公ナマンダブナマンダブナマンダブナマンダブナマンダブナマンダブがにしくどく平等性祭どんぼ大師
If we entrust our hearts and minds without the slightest hesitation to Amida Buddha and Amida's primal vow of compassion for all of his followers, we will most assuredly, upon our deaths in this world, move on to Amida's Pure Land, or oftentimes it's called the Land of Bliss, where all of our suffering will end. So as far as I'm concerned, we will be taken care of in the future when our time here on earth has ended. So the real question for all of us is, how do we deal with suffering in this world? Suffering from tragedy, sadness, disappointments, and unfulfillment caused by our own greed, anger, and ignorance. From the Buddhist teaching of wisdom and compassion, one way we can overcome this suffering is to somehow achieve the mental state of happiness. One definition of happiness is a feeling that comes over us when we achieve a sense of well-being, joy, and contentment, when we are successful, safe, or just simply fortunate. Another definition of happiness is eliminating the negative thoughts, the negative actions, and the negative words which cause suffering, and instead replacing them with positive attitudes, positive actions, and positive words. So how do we achieve this elusive state of happiness? especially in the context of the Buddhist perspective. Based upon several books that I have read, I found inspiration in the written words from Reverend Gyomei Kubose. Over 56 years ago, in 1967, Reverend Kubose wrote his book entitled Everyday Suchness. That was a compilation of Reverend Kubose's 33 articles related to how Buddhism affects our daily lives. So popular was Reverend Kubose's book that my copy of his book was the 13th printing, and that was in 2008. According to Reverend Kubose, those articles simply represented the quote, unquote, little things that are often overlooked, but in essence are really important in our lives. It was his fervent wish that this book would bring joy and serenity to the readers as they ultimately discover what is important in their lives. It is an honor to share Reverend Kubose's article on happiness with you, along with my thoughts and interpretation about happiness. As Reverend Kubose wrote in his book, all people, without exception, wish to have a happy life and are willing to work to attain it. Wars have been fought for freedom and equality in order to allow citizens of this earth to live happy lives. We try to attain happiness physically, materially, and spiritually. By physical, one is happy because a person is healthy, handsome, or beautiful. By material, one is happy because a person is rich and can afford a nice home, a beautiful car, and all the trappings of money. By spiritual, one is mentally happy through relationships with loved ones and friends. These conditions of happiness are, however, dependent on external causes. And when the cause of happiness is gone or destroyed, happiness disappears. Physical happiness of being young, beautiful, handsome, healthy, and strong cannot last forever, as these conditions will eventually fade away from possibly being involved in an accident, becoming crippled, getting sick, and eventually from our bodies growing old. Material happiness from having money is the most important thing for many people. They believe money can buy anything and everything, including happiness. But this happiness may disappear through destruction, theft, and bad luck. In today's culture, the attitude of today's people is they will do something if they receive some benefit in return. Work is only a means to make money in order to possess things. No thought or appreciation is given to what it took to be able to buy all these things in the first place, such as the education received in order to have a decent paying job. Happiness from love and friendship may disappear as love turns into hate and friends become enemies. Buddhism teaches us to look into the core of things instead of looking around it. We have to look within ourselves to see what creates our happiness. To be loved is happiness, but to love is also happiness. Happiness is receiving something, but happiness is also giving and sharing. It is said the happiness of the giver is more permanent and enriching than that of the receiver, because the giver did something for a fellow human being. Buddhists are taught that every step and every means taken in the process are very important and in themselves equally important as the end result. Real happiness is created from within as the whole self unfolds from the efforts to love and to share with others. Although our ego will make us miserable, Reverend Kubose said that we have the capacity and the capability to attain right mind and right attitude to overcome our suffering in order to achieve happiness. As I read the last paragraph of Reverend Kubose's article, I thought to myself, what does creating happiness from within as the whole self unfolds and attains right mind and attitude mean? And after thinking and rethinking about Reverend Kubose's words, I have come to my own thoughts about physical, material, and spiritual happiness. With physical happiness, if we truly understand the teaching of life's impermanence and constant changes, we can accept the fact that our bodies will continually change as we live longer. As we age, loss of strength, declining health, and changes in our own perceived handsomeness and beauty will happen. So instead of worrying about those eventualities, we should just be grateful that we are living to experience these changes. We do what we can and make the most of what we have with our strength, health, and looks, knowing that these conditions will surely change. We must remember that it is what is inside of us as a person, our character, that really counts. With material happiness, we must accept the fact that in order to survive in our materialistic society, money will always be a part of our lives. We are dependent upon our teachers, family, friends, and even strangers to receive the necessary education in order to work for a living. And we should be very appreciative to them for the gift of education to positively impact our lives. Although Buddhism teaches us that our suffering is caused by greed for material things, there is no shame. I repeat, there is no shame in making money in order to live a comfortable life. We do the best we can for providing a home, food, clothing, and education for our family and friends. I cannot imagine living outside in the cold and rain, looking in the garbage cans and begging for food, or being so desperate that we have to steal from others. Money by itself does not serve a purpose unless we use that money to help others. As we approach the end of our lives, keep this thought in mind. You don't want to be the richest material person in the cemetery, for money will not do you any good in your final resting place. With spiritual happiness, we are part of a greater whole. We recognize the feeling or sense that there is something greater than ourselves beyond the sensory experiences of sight, smell, hearing, tasting, and touching. With this realization, we can understand and appreciate the teaching of interdependence, our connections with other human beings in our lives. Although Reverend Kubose stated that love may turn into hate and friends may become enemies due to the human weaknesses of envy and jealousy, we will lose out as human beings if we are afraid to interact with others to overcome this anger and hatred. Buddhism teaches us to love with our hearts, knowing love of family and friends will bring sorrow, but that same love can also bring true happiness. Being happy, and more importantly, staying happy, requires our full attention and effort. Compassion, consisting of civility, decency, dignity, respect, kindness, and love, will bring family, friends, and people together and allow the human race, allow all of us to get along, survive, and even thrive in this world of growing anger and hatred that usually brings destruction and death. Reverend Kubose taught that Buddhism is a philosophy and practice of mindful thought and action that engages with the true reality of human cravings, delusions, and misunderstandings. With the Dharma as our guide through the teaching of right mindfulness and right effort, we can overcome suffering and achieve a sense of transcendent happiness, a feeling of well-being that goes beyond the physical experience of just going through the motions without a purpose. It is a special kind of feeling that enables us to make, quote unquote, our moments of living in the present more meaningful, more fulfilling, which will help us to overcome past regrets and future preoccupations and allow us to enjoy true happiness. Finally, I would like to share with you a wonderful quote on happiness from the Orange County Buddhist Church. The awakened person that finds deep gratification in making others happy, in serving others, rather than finding gratification for oneself. The awakened person embraces both the positives and the negatives of life. The awakened person embraces fortune and misfortune, health and sickness, success and failure. Nothing in life is an obstacle for the awakened person. No matter what one faces in life, there will always be something to reflect upon and something to realize, which will hopefully turn into something learned. This sense of happiness is accessible to anyone. It is not dependent on age or gender and is not limited to a particular ethnicity. It is the deepest wish and aspiration of the Buddha that everyone, each one of us, lives a meaningful, fulfilled, and happy life. Please join me in Gassho. Namo Amida Butsu. Namo Amida Butsu. Namo Amida Butsu. Please rise if you can for the second Gatha, Namo Amida Butsu, found on 137.
When life we'll see forevermore. In endless view, our grateful hearts shall soar. Namo Amida Butsu.
Okay, next we have some announcements to be made.
Steve, you didn't want to go first. Good morning. My name is Marty Matsuda, and I am the chairperson for our Betsuan Sports Committee. So I do have a couple announcements. We'll be starting our sports program signups Sunday, September the 10th. And we'll continue each Sunday through October 1st. And it's going to be held in the courtyard. And we're going to start off with youth basketball and family bowling. Youth basketball is 4 years old to a senior in high school, boys and girls. And then family bowling is kids and adults and seniors. So a little bit more about the bowling. It will begin, it's already scheduled to start October 15th, and it's going to be after service, 1 p.m. at the AMF Land Park Lanes off of Freeport Boulevard. Cost per person will be $11, which covers 3 games and shoe rental. And if you've gone to the bowling alley, $11 is a very good price. So we were able to secure a very good price. Bowling goes from the mid-October to the end of January, so it's with the exception of a few Sundays like during the holidays. But it's very popular. If you haven't participated in our family bowling program yet, for the little kids, they do the bumper bowling too. So a lot of fun. Basketball, again, it runs from, the season runs from December to beginning or end of February. So spread the word, and we'll be out here in a couple weeks, signups after service. Thank you.
Good morning, everyone. Sandy, I gave you a last-minute email. I don't know if you have the technical ability to pull up the flyer. I just sent it to the tech email. That's okay. That's okay. Hey, so I just wanted to share with you, we have the BCA virtual art exhibit. I did make this announcement a few weeks ago. So if there are any artists out here in our Sangha or anyone that you know, please consider submitting your artwork. We do a beautiful digital visual like it's an art exhibit. It's a digital virtual art exhibit. And it's on the Buddhist Churches of America website. So if you need any information, we will have the flyer. We actually do have the flyer on our website, which is buddhistchurch.org. So if you're interested, please sign up, and we will display everyone's art in about middle of September. So thank you.
All right. Good morning, everyone. My name is Steve Itagaki. I'm a member of the Board of Trustees, and wanted to say thank you for everybody for coming this morning. Before we conclude the morning service, I have a couple 9 announcements. 9 short announcements. I'll try to read them as quickly as possible, I promise, but pay attention because there's going to be a test at the end. So, okay. So there will be no Sunday service next week in observance of Labor Day. We'll resume services on September 10th. Beginning on September 10th, our monthly Shotsuki Hoyo services, which were previously held at 10:30 a.m., will be combined with our 9:30 a.m. service. And the Shotsuki Hoyo services will continue from there on to be held on the first Sunday of the month. Our next Wednesday morning Dharma service will be held on September 6th, beginning at 9:30 a.m. That service will be presented in English and in Japanese by Reverend Yuki, and refreshments will be served following that service. Our next chanting service will be held on Monday, September 11th at 10 a.m. And the first day of Dharma School classes will be Sunday, September 17th. Classes will continue on the first and third Sundays of each month, plus additional sessions that will be announced. So students from age 4 and older as of September 2nd, 2023 may register on the church website. All right, is everybody following me? Can you tell me when the next Shotsuki Hoyo service is going to be? Well, pretty good. All right. If you didn't get that, just look it up on YouTube when you get home. All right, so it's not too late to join our team for the ACC Senior Services Ohana Walk. That's going to be held on Saturday, September 16th. To participate, you can join the team to do the walk. You can make a pledge to the team, or you can make a pledge to any of the team members. So please go to accsv.org and help Team Buddhist Church of Sacramento meet its $5,000 goal. Every Wednesday evening during the month of September, certified health and fitness instructor Monica Altieri will be presenting a 4-part series on the core and so much more. If you're currently enrolled in the weekly yoga sessions, you could use that same Zoom link to attend, and any new enrollees may request the Zoom link by emailing betsuinprograms@buddhistchurch.org. All right. Our book club, which is led by Reverend Matt, will meet in person for 4 consecutive Mondays beginning on September 11th from 6 to 7 p.m. The book selected to restart the program is Four Noble Truths by Thanissaro Bhikkhu. You can access a free copy of the book from the church's website, and please register by Friday, August 31st by sending an email to betsuinoffice@gmail.com or by calling the Betsuin office at 916-446-0121. And then we are also excited to announce a new adult Buddhist study class. This class is led by Reverend Yuki, and it will be held on the 4th Friday of the month from 7 to 9 o'clock p.m. The first session will be held on Friday, September 22nd, and for more information or to sign up for the class, please contact Reverend Yuki. Did you have some more announcements?
I don't have any more now.
Oh, okay. All right. Then the final, oh,
Okay, I'll take it from here, Steve.
okay. All right.
Thank you. Thank you, Marty, Steve, and Sensei Koichi. Before we conclude today's service, I'd like to thank my partner in crime, Sensei Grace Satano, and the audiovisual technician, Cindy Kataoka Fong. And to echo what Steve said, thank you very much for coming to this morning's service. And now you are welcome to come forward and offer incense. Thank you again.